Okay, I'll be your tutor for this evening. And this evening is going to be more like an interactive class. So I want you guys to engage more in the course of the class. So it won't be only me talking to myself. So everybody will have to get involved. So that being said, let us start. So what is the course objective? Yeah, the objective of this course is for us to understand the fundamentals of workplace communication, to learn effective collaboration strategies for development teams, improve written and verbal communication skills, develop active listening and constructive feedback techniques. And the last but not the least, enhance teamwork through clear and professional interactions. Okay, so this brings us to the next slide. Um, can anybody see the pictures on the side A and side B? Okay, that's good. As of now, I know you've been divided into different groups in your digital proficiency classes. Okay, so in your groups now, which one do you think your group is? Is it team A or team B? I love responses from you. If you have anything to say, just raise up your hand and take a look at the pictures very well. Okay, Olariwaju John, you can go ahead. Unmute your mic and talk.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Team B, sir. Actually, yes, sir. Team B.
I can hardly hear what you're saying. Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, much better now.
My team is Team B.
Team B.
Yes, sir.
How so sure are you?
Very, very sure.
Very, very sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no worries. That's good. Is there another person that will want to like share what his or her team looks like? And for your information, there's Team C. Team C is mind your business, drink water and mind your business, stay front. So, okay, Chineye Nwa is saying mine is a bit of both. That's interesting. That is interesting. Is there any other person that wants to like share with us what is our team looks like? Okay, Honor Chidima Blessing. You can go ahead.
Okay, so I think, I don't know, maybe I'm the one misinterpreting the drawing, but I think it's more of team A because more of brainstorming. We are expected to do teamwork. Everybody is bringing their opinion because I can see like chat symbols there. Everyone will share work and everybody brainstorm and bring their opinion about the work that we were given. Then at the end of the day, we come together and like come up with a unique something that represents everybody's opinion. Yeah.
Okay, let me explain what the pictorial stuff looks like. The team A is a team whereby they argue a lot. They argue a
No.
lot. Not no teamwork, no collaboration, nothing. Everybody wants to say something at the same time. And team B is a peaceful team. You can see the guy and the girl, they are smiling. But team A, you can see everybody's face is frown, everybody's talking at the same time. We must do this, we must do that. Everybody's trying to like make their voices heard. And the team C is the one that you just mind your business. Nothing concern me. So I think with that explanation now, probably you want to like
Yes,
review
it's
your
team B. Yeah, team B.
what your team looks like.
Team B, surely.
Team B. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that. Is there any other person before we move ahead? Okay. That being said, let's go to the next slide. This introduction. Introduction to what communication is all about. Can anybody explain to me in your own time In your own terms, what do you think communication is? In your own terms, what do you understand by the word communication? Is there anybody? Okay, Ajiboye Taiwo, can go ahead, please. Ajiboye Taiwo, please unmute your mic. We can't hear you. I don't know if you're speaking and you forgot to unmute your mic. Okay, if Ajiboye Taiwo is not responding, Olarinwaju John, I think you raised up your hand earlier.
Okay. In layman's understanding, sir, I believe communication is ability to relate to others in an understanding manner.
Ability to relate with others. That's good. That's good. Any other person? What do you understand by the word communication?
To me, communication is a process of the art of sharing ideas, feelings, thoughts, experience on a particular thing or a particular phenomenon with others.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Thank you very much, Ajiboye. Who else? Who else has his or her own definition? Please, I need responses from you guys. These are an interactive class, please. So I would like you guys to engage more. I need like two more responses before we move on. What do you understand by the word communication? Effective communication. Okay, Abasi James, you can go ahead.
I feel communication is when we exchange information, ideas, thoughts, feelings with one another through verbal or written methods.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Sylvia,
Communication is when you talk together, you share ideas, share information with one another.
okay, that's good. Is there another person before we move on? Any other person that would like to give us an idea of what effective communication is? Okay, so since there's no one, let's move on. So what is effective communication? Effective communication is a critical skill for any development team, which ensures smooth collaboration, efficient problem solving, and successful project completion. So in simple terms, effective communication is you being able to communicate well with your team members, either you are a product manager, a front-end developer, a back-end developer, a designer, a data analyst, whichever tech skill you possess. You understand? You being able to have as in smooth, as in very smooth collaboration with your team members and having efficient problem solving. Oh, sorry, excuse me. You've been able to be very efficient in problem solving with your team members. So by the end of this course, you'll be able to communicate confidently, navigate workplace interactions with ease, and build strong working relationship within your team. Okay? So now let's discuss this. Can anyone share an example of a time when poor communication caused a problem and how it was resolved? I need just people to share their experience. You share an example of a time when poor communication caused a problem. It could be at work, it could be at home, it could be in your neighborhood, it could be with a friend, a family member, a colleague at work. Okay, James, Did you just raise up your hand or you've been raising up your hand since? Hello, can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
So
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Is there anybody that would like to share an experience of how poor communication caused the problem?
Somebody
James, you are raising up your hand. Do you want to answer the question? Hello?
Um, if you're asking on how poor communication caused the problem, is it based on personal experience or just an
Yes, a
idea on
personal
what?
experience. I said earlier that it could be with a friend, probably with a family member, maybe at your place of work, your own personal
Okay,
experience, kind of. Yeah.
okay. During a project that was being assigned to I and my team members in school on project
Okay.
management course, so I was a project leader, and my team members, I was the one who was all communicating about what we can actually do to make the project to be a progress. But at some point, nobody was saying anything, and because everything was just on one person, we kind of didn't do well in the project. But I believe that if there was an effective communication between I and my team members, we would have actually come out the best in that particular project that was being assigned to us. So what poor communication did to us was that it how do I put it? Poor communication made our efforts, should I say it just didn't make our efforts count.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's a very good one. Thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Another person, is there another person that would like to share with us? So none of us have had experience of poor communication. Is that the impression I'm getting right now?
Some people are raising their hands. We have
Okay.
Gabriel.
Okay, Gabriel, you can go ahead. Gabriel.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Apologies. Um,
Yeah, good evening.
Personal experience will be several years ago. I think that should be somewhere in 2022 when I think we got promoted to a particular role at work, and it was a retail brand. So we are managing the e-commerce unit. So basically, the roles were not defined in that particular department. So the roles cut across customer service, merchandising, operations, and etc. So we just commenced our work, knowing fully well that these roles were like part of our responsibilities, and we started working. But we failed to get what we used to call like a KPI that is supposed to guide each and every person in their respective roles. So at the end of the sprint, let's say by the end of the first quarter, we are all left dumbfounded in terms of what we were able to achieve. Because at the end of the A will say I was the one that did this, person B will say I was the one that did this. So there was this argument from everybody because the whole thing was scattered and the roles were not defined. So that's created a huge problem. Then in the next sprint, which was the next quarter of the year, we decided to break down each role. Some persons decided to handle multiple roles, but this time it was more defined. So if you're handling merchandising, you're handling merchandising, if you're handling customer service, or let's say you're handling customer service and operations, you're handling both of them with defined roles. In that way, even if I tend to leave my role as a customer service person and I go to merchandising, I am only acting as a support person to merchandising. It's not like that was my role. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, when we rounded up, we were able to get defined accomplishments across the board. So that was my experience. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for sharing that with us. Thank you
I think
very, very much. Okay, now moving on, we are going to look at the importance of communication in a development team. So, what are the importance of communication in a development team? Um, Once communication is very effective in a team, it ensures there is smooth collaboration and efficiency. Then it makes teamwork and productivity visible. Because when you communicate well with your team members, you guys understand each other better. Either you are assigning a role or you're assigning designating a task, or you're asking someone in the team to do one or two. By the time you communicate well and the person understands you effectively, you guys don't have any issue. Like what Gabriel shared some minutes ago, had it been the rules were being um, highlighted for each and every one of them, there won't be an issue in their communication. There won't be a communication gap between them. So one of the importance of communication development is that it enhances your teamwork and productivity and it ensures smooth collaboration and efficiency. And it helps in clear documentation and reporting. Because when you ask your developers, okay, how did you do this? How did you do that? For example, you're a product manager or a project manager, and you want to give a report or you want to make some documentation about your project. The effective communication you've had with your developer, with your designer, and every other team member will make you find it easy to give a report to whoever you're reporting to, either the CEO, either your team lead, either your head of department. So you won't have to be going back and forth and like, okay, let me just run and call this development and this developer that guy Alpha. How did you do this? I don't seem to understand what you did here. Please explain to me again. You understand that whenever your team lead or your head of department or the CEO of the company calls you up and like, okay, product manager, can you explain this, and this to me? You don't fidget. You are confident enough to give the information because you understood clearly what was communicated to you by your team members. So that's one of the points of effective communication. Then it reduces misunderstandings and errors. So you understand because if you don't get to like understand your team members, errors and misunderstandings are bound to happen. And at the end of the day, you might even be the one at fault. Probably you didn't hear the other person very well, or maybe the person didn't pass the information well to you for you to understand. So whichever way, it has caused misunderstanding and errors. But once the communication is very effective, it reduces that to the barest minimum. Fine, there might be some scenarios whereby misunderstandings will come up, but effective communication will actually reduce it. It will actually reduce it. Okay. Um, what is communication theory? Communication theory explains how messages are sent, received, and interpreted. It helps us understand how people interact and exchange information. This theory actually explains the way you send your message, the way the receiver receives the message, and the way the receiver interprets it. You know, there's this common saying that the way people interpret words are different. So this happens with different kind of factors. It might be the way your background, the way you were brought up, might be the environment, might be your level of education, and so on. So the same word might be said to like three different people, and they would interpret it in three different ways or more. So that's what the communication theory explains to us. Okay, let's just have a quick interactive activity. What are the impacts of communication on relationship? In terms of relationship, I mean within your team, like the group you guys are now. How does communication impact your teamwork? Anybody? Okay, allow me to John.
It's actually aids in team bonding actually, man. Like the team bonds well in terms of pace and everything.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other person? What impact does communication have in a relationship? I mean, I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, though. I beg you. I'm talking about teamwork. I'm talking about
Um,
teamwork. Chidima blessing.
so for our team, for example, I think it aids faster work. Like the work is, if we have effective communication, the work is faster and there is less misunderstanding amongst team members. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. Any other person? I would like those that have not spoken since. I would like them to speak now, please. Should I start calling names? Is that what you want? Because I'm sure we are over 20 here, and it's more like the same set of people are the ones responding to the questions I've been asking. Okay, I think I'll start calling names. Chineye, Chineye, are you with us? Hello, Chineye, can you hear me? I'm not sure Chineye can actually hear me. Is Olivia, is Olivia with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Please, can you share with us the impact of communication on teamwork?
Okay, in our group, communication helps everybody. Like it makes us share our view on a particular project that we are doing or an assignment that we are doing, and it makes the work faster and easier.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Mo sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. Are you with us? Okay, I'm not sure. Chukuma, Chukuma, good evening. Are you with us? Please share with us what impact of communication is on relationship. Hello, Chukuma, can you hear me?
Good evening.
Okay, Chukuma. Yeah, Chukuma, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, please share with us the impact of communication on a relationship.
Well, for my own understanding, it could be either um, the impact will be either positive or negative. Depends on how the communication is in the relationship. So if the people are able to exchange information effectively among themselves, like able to discuss actively, then I'm very sure it should bring forth positive results. Otherwise, it could be disastrous, so to say.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm calling one last person, last but not the least, Abigail. Abigail, good evening.
I knew you were going to mention my name because I've not been listening
That is I'm in the
very well.
spirit.
I had been suspecting that I've been so quiet that so
Okay, please go ahead.
so
Thank
yeah,
you.
like the last person rightly said, it could be either active communication would pose positive impact on any team.
Okay,
Um, for instance, it will help with synergy amongst the team. I mean, where there is active and effective communication, it's not just one-sided. There would be the team will be able to achieve more in a split or in a minimal amount of time. In the fastest time, they'll be able to achieve more. And then with effective communication, we could also, think of it as it helps in resolving conflict because it's one thing to communicate with your team via Teams, via your emails. But if you follow up with a call just to gauge that the person understands what the message or the email means, it would it will help each person communicate their concerns and their perspective respectfully, and everyone can find a common ground. Thank you.
wow, thank you so much for that. I was in the spirit too. It's as if I had known that you explained very, very, very better. But that's good. That's good. I like that. Thank you very much
Mhm.
for sharing with me. Okay, now let's look at the impacts of communication on relationship. Number one, it builds trust and clarity. It enables you to be able to trust your team member with the project that is like, okay, if a task is being assigned to a team member, you are very sure the team member will like execute it rightly and be able to beat the deadline. So there won't be like doubts or serious concern that will this developer meet up with this, will this developer be able to like do this or that, or will this designer will be able to like design this wireframe or user flow or anything needed to be designed. So it builds trust between team members that you guys actually understand each other very well. And there's always clarity. By the time, like I said earlier in my explanation, clarity comes in when you have effective communication with each other. You don't have to like start going back and asking questions over and over again. Once you guys talk about it, you understand clearly. So that's what communication helps out with in relationship. Then the second one is conflict resolution. It enables you guys to find there's no way there won't be conflict. Maybe probably this other person was not in a good mood when the question was asked, or maybe there's pressure at work, or some personal issues, kind of, and the person is like, at this point in time, I'm not going to even respond to anybody, and there's a deadline looming, and you need an answer at that moment, and the person is not even responding. You'll be like, what's the meaning of all this? But if the person can actually reach out and like, okay, sorry, I won't be able to like reach out to you about this for now, or I won't be able to like solve this problem for now. If you can find someone else that can do it because I'm not in the right frame of mind, blah blah blah. It reduces or it doesn't give conflict a chance within you guys. You understand? So everybody knows, okay, this person will be able to meet up with this. Okay, let's look for a plan B, and you guys will be able to like meet up with the deadline. So that's what communication does. Then emotional connection. Um, Emotional connection in the sense that you guys are emotionally connected to the project or to the product, depending on what you guys are working on. That nobody is actually trying to force the other person to work on the project. You guys are more like, okay, fine, these are products, these are projects. Let's join hands together. Let's make it work. Let's bring out something good out of it. You get my point. So that's what communication does for you in your team. It gives you this emotional connection. You guys are able to like connect um, together on the project. You understand? You guys are always happy when there's a call for stand up meeting. You guys are always eager for the next stand up meeting to like discuss how far you guys have gone on the project, what needs to be done, who are to be assigned tasks and stuff. So that's part of what communication does. Then the expectations and norms. You with expectation and norms, it's more like you like okay, this designer has been asked to like do the wireframe or do the user flow for this product. You are very sure and confident that this designer will actually do it and meet up. So it's still part of you having trust in your team member about the project. So now let's go to the next one, which is the key communication models. And sorry if you have any question in between, you can actually raise your hand and ask your question if you're not clear about anything I'm saying actually. So you can just raise up your hands and ask a question. Thank you. So the key communication models that we have, the first one is Shannon Weaver model. This focuses on the transmission of information from sender to receiver. That's a one-way message transmission. It's a one-way message transmission. Then we have the Schramm's model. This one highlights feedback and the importance of shared understanding. This is a two-way communication with feedback. Like the first one we said, Shannon Weaver model, it focuses on just the transmission between the sender and the receiver, which makes it a one-way. So the Schramm's model highlights feedback and the importance of shared understanding. That once the receiver receives an information, there's always a feedback to the sender. So it's a two-way communication. And we have the Bellows SMCR model, which emphasizes the source, the message, the channel, and the receiver, and it focuses on message structure. The last but not the least, we have the balanced transactional model, which makes communication is continuous and dynamic, and it happens in real time. The communication happens in real time. It's not something that is lagging. It's a real time communication. Okay, the next one, best practices for written communication in a cross-functional team. Okay, so this helps in team clarity and precision. It helps in team clarity and precision in the sense that it keeps messages clear, it avoids unnecessary complexity. You understand? It doesn't make the message too bogus or too big for the person to understand. It helps in team clarity and precision. Then it helps in structured formatting. That in the process of you using bullet points, headers, and code blocks for readability. It also helps in audience awareness, which makes you adapt the knowledge and detail level based on the recipients. That is in technical and non-technical ways. So it's also concise and action-oriented. It actually focuses on key takeaways and next steps. It also helps in consistent documentation, which ensures updates are regularly documented and accessible. Okay, a minute, please. Okay, the next slide. Okay, the best practices for verbal communication in a cross-functional team. One of the best practices is that it helps in active listening. You pay full attention, asking clarifying questions, and avoid interruptions. Active listening, clear and concise speech, adaptability, constructive feedback, empathy, and collaboration. You can actually still read up all this in your reading materials that will be posted on the Google Classroom. So in case I'm just too fast and I'm not explanatory enough, so you can actually still read up on your material. Okay. Now let's go to the techniques for effective verbal communication. Techniques for effective verbal communication. Yeah, we have the STAR method. We have the STAR method, which S stands for the situation, T for the task, A for action, and R for result. So for the S, you identify the situation or problem you solve or encounter. The situation or problem you solved or encountered. Then for the T, what was the specific task or target? That brings us to the who, what, when, where, and what's required. For the A, you detail your specific action. What did you do? How did you do it? And for the R, you explain the results. That is, you quantify your result. That is the savings, accomplishments, recognition, and so on. I think I'm far behind time. Okay, techniques for effective verbal communication also includes the 7-38-55 rule. 7% for words, 38% for tonality, that's the tone in which you pass the message, in which the message is being conveyed. Because the tone actually makes the receiver interpret what you're trying to pass across. So it depends on the tone you use that will make the receiver understand how you're trying to pass the message across. And the 55% is the facial expression. That's if you're talking to the person face to face. The person is looking at your facial expression and okay, the way you tell the person you need this. So your words is actually 7%, your tonality is 38%, and your facial expression is 55%. We also have the mirroring and paraphrasing, that's repeating or rewarding for clarity and alignment. Okay, there's a video I would like to play for you guys. It's like less than 5 minutes. So I would like you to watch this video, and after the video, we'll do a class activity. So just let me know if you can hear the sound of the video. If you can't hear the sound, just let me know. But if you can hear the sound, just give me your emojis. Let me know that I can actually hear the sound of the video. Thank you. Is it playing yet?
No.
Sorry, just give me a minute, please.
Thomas-Kilmann conflict modes is a really useful model in helping us understand how we and others approach conflict. The model is based on levels of cooperativeness and assertiveness. It's also about how much we focus on our own needs, and then also about how we focus on the other person's needs. The model identifies 5 typical approaches: competing, avoiding, accommodating, compromising, and collaborating. Competing style is both assertive and uncooperative. It's a style which uses power to win and get your own way, and ends in a win-lose situation. It's about saying, I am right and you are wrong. Avoiding is not assertive, nor is it cooperative. It doesn't help you achieve your goals or anyone else achieve theirs, and results in both parties losing out. It's a way of sidestepping or postponing handling a conflict. Accommodating is putting the needs of others ahead of your own. It's about sacrificing what your goals are for other people and ends in a lose-win situation. It's about saying, you are right and I am wrong. Compromising is a way of partially meeting your own and the other's needs, and is both assertive and cooperative. However, there's a risk that nobody fully gets what they want, and so may not be an entirely successful approach. Collaborating is a way of fully getting what you want and enabling the other person to do that too. It's fully assertive and fully cooperative and achieves a win-win outcome for both parties. It might mean addressing an interpersonal problem to seek a solution, or working together to solve a problem that was getting in the way. You may have heard the story about the 2 chefs fighting over the last lemon in the kitchen. Both chefs wanted the lemon to create their dish and argued over who should get the lemon. If one of the chefs was to take a competing approach, then the other chef would lose out entirely, meaning that only one dish would get made with the lemon. Another approach might be for both chefs to walk away from the conflict, avoiding it altogether. Here, neither of them get the lemon. Again, this would lead to them missing out and also the customer missing out. Taking an accommodating approach, perhaps one of the chefs could go and buy a bag full of lemons and hand them over. This would be a really selfless thing to do, but it may mean they forego their own needs entirely in favour of the other person's needs. Alternatively, they could compromise. They could split the lemon in half, and so to an extent, both of the chefs get some of what they want, but the customer will only get half of the lemon in the dish and again misses out. The chefs were actually making 2 different dishes, one requiring the lemon zest and one requiring the juice. If they'd discussed their needs in the first place, they would have realised that the best approach would have been to collaborate. I hope this has been a useful explanation of the Thomas-Kilmann conflict mode model.
Okay, how many of us understood what the video talked about? Okay, so we're gonna like have a short class activity now. We're gonna have a short class activity now, which is gonna like. Is there anybody here that is a product manager? Do we have a product manager here? Just signify by raising your hand. The product manager, please raise up your hand. Okay, Ajiboye, product manager. Okay. Okay, Ajiboye, thank you. Then I need someone that is either a front-end developer or a back-end developer, or probably a designer. Okay. James, you are what? Abasi, James, you are what?
Backend developer.
Backend developer. Okay. So this is the scenario. A developer and a product manager disagree on a deadline. So we're using this conflict resolution technique such as the Thomas Kilmann model. So I want the product manager to actually give the developer a deadline on a project that is not visible. For example, probably a project that just to give the developer a deadline that you know is not visible. Ajiboye. So communicate with the developer and let him understand you must deliver until so deadline, which you know is not visible. You can go ahead. Hello, Ajiboye, can you hear me? Hello, Ajiboye, can you hear me? Abasi James, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I think maybe Ajiboye is having network issue. Is there another product manager that can volunteer, play the role? Any other product manager? It's just a very short role, so don't be scared of what you're going to say. It's nothing serious, okay? No one else is volunteering.
Jiboye Taiwo is raising his hand.
Yeah, he raised his hand earlier and he's not responding. He's not responding. He was the one I picked with Abasi James, but he's not responding. Maybe his network is not that good. Because I'm not sure he can actually hear me. So there's no other product manager amongst us here now that can play the role for us. Okay. Abasi James saying they are shy. Okay. Moromo Oluwa Onitonjo. You're a product
Hi,
manager, right? Yeah, good evening.
good evening.
Yeah, do you
Yes,
understand the role I asked the product manager to play? Do you understand it perfectly?
not really. I just raised my hand because I'm product manager.
Okay, I was explaining earlier that as a product manager, can you actually see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So I want you as a product manager to give Abasi James, which is a backend developer, you give him a deadline which you know is not feasible. And from the video I played earlier, did you watch the video I played earlier?
Yeah,
Okay. So using the conflict resolution technique in that video, I want you guys to actually try to resolve the issue. But you're going to give him a deadline that is not feasible, that you know he won't be able to meet up with. On
okay,
a project, on a product, anything, just tell him something.
okay. So do I start?
Yeah, you can start now.
All right. So the developer is Abasi, right?
Yes, Abasi James.
Okay. So hi Abasi, how you doing?
I'm alright. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. So there is this feature for the help center. That's for the website that we are trying to build. We want to incorporate three APIs, right? We want a payment API, we want one for connecting to social media, and we want all three to be ready by tomorrow afternoon, say 1 p.m. So I want you to get it done
Okay.
before that. So that's fine by you.
Okay. So thank you. I appreciate the urgency of the project and understand its importance, but based on the current scope and available resources, meeting this deadline may compromise the product quality, and I recommend you give me at least a week or two to ensure that I deliver a solid outcome. And however, if there's flexibility in the scope or additional resources available, and then we can explore ways to meet the deadline. Let me know how you'd like to proceed.
Okay, so if I get you correctly, you are saying that if there's available resources, that means you'll be able to do all three and still meet up with the deadline I'm giving you.
But you compromise the quality of the product.
Mm, okay. Um, since all three are very important, right? And looking at the fact that quality is also very important, I would suggest that going with the deadline that I have, is it possible for me to at least get one of those APIs ready, right? While the other ones are in progress, so that I can, have something valuable to say to the product owner. And bearing in mind that I would not want to compromise quality and I would not want you to also burn out in the process, right? So I want to compromise having three. Instead of having three, can I have one tomorrow, right? And let me know what additional things you would need to actually speed up the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, one can get. I can actually do one before tomorrow morning, and
Okay.
for data, I think you can support me with a little financial assistance for data reimbursement so that we can speed up the process.
Okay.
All right,
Sorry.
actually,
Okay.
Shaka.
Okay. So if your data is like 20K, I will give you 5K. You're a big man now. You can cover
That
15K.
is very.
I, I,
Wow. Wow, that was lovely.
I appreciate the
Are you
fact
guys
that,
done?
Yeah, we're
yeah,
done.
yeah, so we are done.
Oh, okay. Thank you so very much. If you enjoyed the conversation, please let me see your emojis. Wow, that's good. Okay, thank you very much. So, because of our time, we won't be able to like get feedback from you guys that are listening. I would have loved to like ask um some of the questions that you're seeing on the screen, but in due course, you'll still be able to like you still be able to like give feedback on what you just on the role that you guys just listened to. Okay. So, but you guys can actually still read up on your reading materials on Google Classroom. On your reading material in Google Classroom. Then, like it is now, there will be a point in time that after your soft skill training, you guys will have to like do a presentation. So by then, you guys can put your effective communication into place. You get my point. So, and every other soft skill you guys would learn during this training. Okay. So in Let me have to like it. Okay, in your reflection and group work, interns participate in a simulated sprint planning or stand-up meeting. Each participant provides an update and discusses a blocker. The team members practice active listening and constructive responses. Then you write a documentation of what was discussed in the meeting, those who attended, feedbacks, and conclusion of meetings. Okay, so and that will actually be done during your presentation or your soft skill presentation when you guys are done with all the soft skill training. So in conclusion, effective communication is crucial for a successful development team. This course has focused on enhancing writing and speaking skills, providing constructive feedback and resolving conflicts. By applying clear communication methods, you can confidently manage working and workspace interaction. Continue developing your communication skills, listen actively, and adapt to team dynamics. Strong communication fosters teamwork, increases productivity, and promotes a positive work environment, preparing you to collaborate effectively and make a positive impact. So with that, we've come to the end of today's class. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any questions. If there are questions, please signify. I'm going to take one or two questions. One or two questions from you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, Abasi James, please.
Yeah, so our assignments, we are submitting it as a group.
Yes, you
How
are doing that as a group.
how are you guys grading? Are you guys grading us as a group, or how are you doing it? Because individually, I used to still see in that place we used to submit that I'm not submitted, even when I submit as a group.
Yes, we are grading you as a group and grading you individually because everybody is contributing. So in what you guys are submitting as a group, your team lead would actually indicate who and who actually contributed this and that. So individually you'll be graded too, and as a group you'll be graded. So don't worry about
How
the
will it be?
individual grading. Okay?
So, so I should not worry about the individual grading.
We will grade it you guys individually, the same way we're going to grade you as a group. So we have our own
Okay,
methods of grading individually. You just be active and make sure you complete your assignments and projects and you
okay.
contribute.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Olaniwaju John.
So please, you said something about project just now as regards running the project. Yeah, before you mentioned said the last before you went to the conclusion, please I don't know if you can recall on that, sir.
I didn't get what you asked, sorry.
You said something about projects before you talked about the conclusion. Please, I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I was talking about you guys will have a presentation, like a project work for your team at the end of your soft skill training. You understand? It's more like a presentation. So everybody is contributing. Do you understand? Hello? Okay.
Yes,
That
yes,
being said, Olivia,
yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Please, can you recap on the assignment you gave? I do not understand.
on the
Hello?
assignment. Okay, yeah,
Yes, on
it's
like
on
the
the screen.
group work. Yes,
Yeah,
the
you
group
sent
work.
it in your reading material on the Google Classroom. It's in your reading material too that will be posted on the Google Classroom. I think it should have been posted by now.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay. So you guys will go to individual groups and you guys will work on it. So I think we've come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much for your participation, your engagement, and your availability. Really appreciate that. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I think that will be a good night from all of us here. So